Very good afternoon to everyone. Let me begin by thanking the government for having us here and for listening essentially to our concerns and opinions concerning the very hot and topical issue around bond notes. Now, last week when the President addressed the Central Committee, he indicated that everyone who is opposed to bond notes is either political or ignorant. Now, I'm neither. I'm approaching this from girl on the street perspective, regular Zimbabwean, who's well versed in the law, qualified. I practice as an advocate. I teach administrative law, which is the law of government in Zimbabwe. I was around in practice when the new constitution itself was enacted. I'm familiar with the legal territory around this issue. Now, coming to the constitution itself, because everything I'm going to say is going to be legal or law-based. The constitution itself, when it was enacted in 2013, people read the obvious. So obviously we looked at freedom of the press, we looked at freedom of movement, the right to life, we looked at all the ordinary constitutional rights that we're normally used to, and that obviously became synonymous with the fight for human rights around the period 2000 to 2009. Now, what people weren't aware of is a hidden gem that lies in the Constitution, which is Section 68. Very little is said of this section, but it is our gold mine as citizens. And it says this, I'll read it, it does bear reading. It says, every person has a right to administrative conduct, that's government conduct, that is lawful, that is prompt, that's efficient, that's reasonable, that's proportionate, that's impartial, and both substantively and procedurally fair. So we have a right from our government to conduct that is lawful. Now, Dr. Magudya, as part of the government, his office is created under Section 14 of the Reserve Bank Act, is subject to Section 68. In other words, he owes us an obligation of lawful conduct, reasonable conduct, conduct that's both procedurally fair and substantively fair. Fairness is a huge criterion. Is it fair to take away my money and give me paper in return? Let's give the argument that his conduct in proposing to do so is unconstitutional. Now let's deal with lawfulness for a minute. Nowhere in the Reserve Bank Act is a power given to the Reserve Bank governor to issue bond notes. In fact, bond notes are a creation of respect of the governor. A creation that's unknown at economics and that's unknown at law. So if you go through all the acts of Parliament, and I've done so, combed through them tediously, Reserve Bank Act, Banking Act, Bills of Exchange Act, you don't see the term bond note. Bearer check used to exist, but in 2010, Section 42A, which gave the old government the power to issue bearer checks, was repealed. In other words, that power no longer exists. So this is not a situation that's synonymous with what Governor Gordo did. Now, we don't like what Governor Gordo did, but at least it was lawful. The problem is that it's unlawful. Now, you recall from what I read in Section 68 that there's an obligation upon the governor to act in a manner that's reasonable. Rationality is a key criterion for whatever measures he proposes to introduce. Now, let me ask you this. Is it rational, is it reasonable to pay an incentive of 5% to Zimplats because it's an exporter, and to pay that money with money you borrowed? Now, what incentive does Zimplats need to mine? They're making a killing. That's why they bank in Panama. They don't need any. The further question is, obviously, once it's talked about, look, we don't have the terms of this Brexit Bank facility. Is it? Is it an agreement that's been entered into? What are the terms? What happens, most critically, if we default? Because the argument consistently has been that, look, the rate of the bond is going to be 1:1 because we are backed, whatever that means, and I'll deal with that in Q&A, I'm sure will come up. It's backed by the Suffrexim Bank facility, it's backed by a loan. But the question is, what happens? What does the agreement say about if and when the government fails to pay back that debt? It's obviously unknown as a matter of economics and law that the governor will come and say the rate of a piece of paper is the same as the US dollar. I mean, that economics and the market decide that. If it were that simple, Zuma would have just said, look, the rand is equal to one US dollar. You can't do that. In fact, Bono at the time in 2009 would have just said, you know what, line in the sand, the Zim dollar that's been running, the rate is now 1:1. There's a reason that didn't happen. If you don't wait until you've been stolen from. If you see the thief running towards you, you can run to court and say, look, that guy, can you see him? He's running to take away my money. Please stop him. Obviously, I'm not suggesting that the government is going to steal our money. I'm sure he's looking into that. But the point is this, we're entitled to raise the legal questions now, because we've got a right to conduct that's lawful. When the press statement was announced on the 4th of May, the government, in my respectful view, had an obligation to first ensure that there was a legal framework that supported what he proposed to do, not to think about the law as an afterthought, ex post facto, oh, by the way, let me see what provision I can sort of fit into this definition. With respect, that's not the way to go. So I think that will be my address. It's